Alrighty. What up, YouTube? It is your girl Pimp back with another video, back with another Black Excellent video. And today I have a special guest with me. But before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thumbs it up, thumbs it down, all that good stuff. So let's get right into the interview. I have Kaba GC. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good. What about yourself, Pimp?
Doing good, doing good. Like we talked about earlier, blessed to see another day.
Of course, of course.
So, but we're gonna get right into the interview because I know you got an event coming up, and I want to get to that as well. But for people
Yeah.
who don't know who you are, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm born and raised Chicago, South Side. Um, Married. Be 32 years this year. I love
Really?
guns. Yeah, 32
Wait,
years. Yeah.
how old are y'all?
Yeah. Well, I'll just put it to you like this. I'll be 53 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought we were. For some reason, I thought we was the same age bracket.
No. No.
Wow.
Why? How old are you?
I am actually going to be 38 this year.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
y'all look
different
great.
generations. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Shoot, I'm gonna have to get my life together because shoot, y'all look absolutely great. That's
Yeah, thanks.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So South Side, what area
East.
on the east
So
side?
if yeah, you know what 95th is in Stony Island, I'm closer to the lake over here, the East Side Lake.
Okay, I'm actually
Yeah.
always over there on 95th Stony Island, actually.
Yep. Yep. So
Always.
yep. So I'm right in that area. Jeffrey Manor.
Yep, Jeffrey Mountain area. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the first thing I want to ask is, let us know a little bit about Kaba.
Well, Kaba for a lot of people that don't know what that is, that's an acronym for Keep and Bear Arms.
Okay.
And what it is that it started off as a gun club, so and we still are a gun club, of course, but what we do, we promote responsible and safe gun ownership through training and education. So that pretty much sums up Kaba Gun Club in a nutshell. We do events, we do workshops, we have meetings once a month. We teach different classes. Our meeting that we had last month was the stop the bleed and how to use a tourniquet. So just with being into firearms, it's just not about learning how to shoot. It's other aspects too. When
Mm-hmm.
it comes to that, to keep yourself safe, and if you may have to save somebody's life or save your own life.
Yes, and I'm so happy that you brought that up because I do when people talk to me about guns, I'm like, you don't necessarily have to have a gun, to prepare yourself for certain things. You have other options like a mace. I know a lot of people who collect knives. I know a lot of people who
Yep.
do karate, self-defense classes, and why do you feel like it's important for them to have that variety and not just depend on the actual gun for protection?
Well, the firearm realistically should be your last resort. That should be the last line of defense that you use. And realistically as well, you should also too be looking at getting out of situations first and paying attention to what's around you so you can keep yourself out of situations. So situational awareness plays a key in keeping yourself out of dangerous situations too. you know so so things like that. Yeah, guns are good for that last line of defense, but learning how to use your hands, like you said, a knife, mace, like pepper balls, pepper spray, those kind of things come into play. You may have to
Mm-hmm.
use those things first before you have to resort to using your weapon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the one thing I like about you guys is that you guys really promote women,
Yeah.
protecting their selves. Why is that so
Yeah.
important for you?
Well, I grew up in a family of women. On my mom's side, it was a large family. My dad's side, large family. So I had 12 aunts and uncles on my mom's side, 12 aunts and uncles on my dad's side. And I
Oh,
grew up
wow.
around nothing but women. So as a young boy, all of my cousins were girls.
Oh,
So
wow.
and just growing up around girls and watching them with boys and stuff, it kind of was like, well, you know what? As I got older and older, I started to say to myself, they need to be able to protect themselves too. So I went through a spell of where I lived in Minnesota for a while, moved back to Chicago, got back into firearms. And once I did, my wife showed a lot of interest. So when she started to show interest, that kind of like piqued me going into women, teaching women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I am a USCCA instructor as well.
Yes. Yes. I saw
Yeah.
that you I don't know if it was like a contest or a raffle they entered to get like a free carry conceal class. I think I had saw.
Yeah. What I'm doing, it's a lady. Her name is Carrie Sloan. We the female, we partnered up to do.
Oh, I follow them. Okay.
Yeah, we partnered up to do a free concealed carry course for 30 to 50 women here in Illinois. In April 27th and 28th.
Hmm.
So we partnered up to give a free concealed carry course to 30 to 50 women that we choose.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that is so awesome.
yeah, and what they have to do is if they go to my flyer, they go to my Instagram. I don't do the Facebook, but if they go to my Instagram, they can see the flyer, and all they have to do is look at that email and send a brief little like an explanation or summary or summarize why they want their concealed carry.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And can somebody advocate for someone else to receive the class?
Oh, of course, of course, of course.
Okay, awesome. Now that we're on the subject of women, I know there's a lot of women when they go search for guns, they don't even search for the protection, but how cute it is.
Yeah.
How do you get them to steer away from that mindset?
Well,
Of,
that's kind of a funny question. Well, if they ask my opinion, I don't ask them to look at the color first. It has to be comfort, functionality, and if they can control it. So
Mhm.
I don't point them to a specific brand of gun, simply because what I may like, they may not like, and vice versa.
Mhm.
So I just tell them what works. Just use what works for you.
Okay. Okay. And I do like that you incorporate the whole family. I know it's a split when it comes to the kids.
Right.
How do you feel about kids, handling firearms or, for me, even being, I want them to at least be educated if they don't handle it.
Well, if the parents are comfortable enough and feel their child is mature enough, then by all means, go ahead and teach them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's my take on that. I can't tell anybody what they should or shouldn't teach their kids. It's up to them. They know their kids. They know their child's maturity level. So we just go from there. And if they feel that their child is mature enough, then they're more than welcome. To come in and now learn the basics and the fundamentals from us.
Awesome sauce. And so, we here in Illinois,
Yeah.
and right now I believe they have a pause on what the governor just signed.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people have been asking me, and I'm like, I'm not an expert, I'm with y'all on this, because a lot of people feel like, how can we protect ourselves from the criminals who have the AKs and the ARs, and then you take away from the actual citizens who not hurting anybody, who just want to make sure they're protecting their home and their families. You know, where's your take on that as far as the governor signed that bill?
Well, I just put it to you like this. I'm not a political person at all.
Hmm.
I don't feel our rights under the Constitution should be political either. But it gets wrapped up in there.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I'm just going to wait to see how this bill plays out because
Hmm.
there are a lot of lawsuits going on now. So I'm not going to overreact at this point, and just
Hmm.
start doing things that just because they say this is going to take place. I'm going to wait for things to play out. And at the end of the day, I honestly feel that this bill is going to get struck down.
Hmm.
So that's just my personal feeling. But other than that, I don't worry about it too much. I have something here to protect myself, and I'll use it if needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have a fashion show coming up, which I thought was pretty
Yes.
cool and different. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So the same week that we're doing that women's class, which is the April 27th and 28th, on April 29th, we're actually having a 2A banquet and a concealed carry fashion show to where we're going to have some models walk the catwalk and show how they conceal and carry their guns.
That is awesome. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of the ladies that's their big concern. I don't want that gun sticking out or how can I wear it with my dress and all
Yeah.
that type of stuff. Any recommendations as far as like belts or for ladies and stuff, for concealing?
There are a lot of different options out there for women, and to be honest, they have more options than men. When it comes to carrying,
Really?
because of course, they have plenty more options than men do. When it comes to carrying and how they carry. You guys have purses, they have garters, they have belly bands. I mean, they have a lot of things. Like a bra kind of. It's a whole field of things out there that women can use. When it comes to concealing their weapon, they just have to be introduced to it. And kind of like
Hmm.
with this fashion show, we're going to try to have some different vendors out here that have the different variations of belts and holsters and things like that women can use when they carry, and men as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that myself because that's definitely awesome. Okay, so I like to always ask people I interview, what what made them want to get into the firearms? Like, what was your first experience with a firearm?
Well, I'll tell you like this: being from Chicago, my first experience, it wasn't a legal experience. I'll just put it like that.
True
Yeah.
that.
So for a lot of it, it wasn't a legal experience. But as I got to be a little older, and I'll say more so in my early 20s,
Hmm.
because I wanted to not have to look over my shoulders, I just started doing things the right way.
Hmm.
I wasn't into guns that much until maybe 2004. That's when I really got back into them on a serious level.
Hmm.
And yeah, and actually, that was when I lived in Minnesota, because I lived in Minnesota for 20 years. So
Okay.
yeah, so I lived there for 20 years, and I've actually been carrying since 2005.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've been carrying for a little while, but that's what really got me into it, is that I wanted to protect my family. And to be honest with you, I wanted to be able to protect my family from the younger version of myself, because I knew what I was as a teenager. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because I work with a lot of young men who, they're 21 and older. And like you said, we from Chicago, and in most of the neighborhoods I work from, the Black and brown community, they want to protect themselves,
Of
but
course.
it's like they don't want to get legal, and I keep telling them, please get legal. Once you turn 21, go take that class, get legal, because I've noticed a lot of them end up getting gun charges from something that wasn't even like one of my kids, for example, got stopped for not completely stopping at a stop sign.
Sure.
And so because he had a gun on him, they completely forgot about that and focused on the gun.
Of
You
course.
know what I'm saying? And I told him if you would have got the carry and conceal, that would have been no problem. They would have gave you your ticket, but now you fighting this case.
Right.
And they're not gonna understand that you what type of neighborhood you living in, because he also does Uber Eats and things like that, which
Sure.
lately in Chicago, Lyft drivers, Uber Eat workers have been getting robbed.
Sure.
So what would you tell the younger youths out here?
The strange thing is that the culture today is completely different, from how it was when I was growing up. We had respect for the OGs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now a lot of that seems to be lost, and you really can't. I'm not saying all, but you really can't talk to a lot of young people, about doing things the right way, without them, and they don't take you serious. You sometimes you try to explain to them that what you're doing now can affect you buying a house, you want to get married, you want to have
Yep.
this nice job. It can
Yep.
affect your future
Hmm.
down the road. But unfortunately, a lot of the youth now don't even think about 20 years from now, because
That's true.
they're worried about, well, I may get killed tomorrow. So they don't think, forward, like that. So maybe that's where the gap is that they don't have the they don't dream past today. They dream
Hmm.
today, and then if they die tomorrow, they're cool with it, and they
Hmm.
don't dream 20 years, 30 years down the road.
Man, and that's definitely an accurate and powerful statement because working in social services is definitely difficult to like you said, talk to them, get them to understand. It's like something has to happen for it to click for them. And then
Right.
even sometimes that don't work. They
Right.
still
Yeah,
go
that's
back to the
true.
same old thing, you know. So okay, okay. So I also like to ask this question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite gun and what's the worst gun?
The one that you mean the ones that I own or any?
It in general. Just in general.
I would probably say my favorite gun right now would be my staccato.
I knew you
The
were gonna say
the
that.
the staccato P. That would be my
Hmm.
favorite one right now.
Hmm.
And then the one, well, you know what? I'm not going to say I have one I like the least because what I finally did is that I stopped buying guns just because. Every gun I have is for a purpose. It's something I want, and it's something if I ever sold it, it would hurt me to get rid of it. So I don't have a least favorite.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
like that one. I like that. Okay, okay. Well, for say for a new person that just got their carry concealed, you know, I know you said before you really don't try to shoot them to go with this way or that way, but what would you, if somebody asks, what would you suggest as a first
Uh,
gun?
well, that's kind of hard to say too, simply because everybody's hands sizes,
Hmm.
it's different. Everybody doesn't manage recoil the same. So
True.
I generally tell people just go and rent some guns and see what you like and go from there.
And go from
Because yeah, I never want anybody to say, well, Sean told me to buy that gun,
there.
and I can't stand it. So I would rather you go shoot it,
Hmm.
and say you don't like it yourself instead of buying something based off what I like, and then you get it, and then all of a sudden you say, "Well, I got a paperweight because I don't like this thing and I don't shoot it." So I never tell anybody. I may say brands, but I won't say
Okay.
particular,
Hmm.
firearm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I may point you to brands, but I will never point out any gun for anybody.
Okay. So what's your favorite brand? What brand?
Well, my favorite brand right now would be Staccato. I'll give it to you in this order: Staccato, CZ, Sig. That right there are my top three.
The top three. Okay. I definitely like to see it. I shot a staccato, and man, I understand why. It's just it's butter.
Yep,
It's just butter. The recoil, the accuracy, the the way it fits on your hand
yeah,
is I understand why. I definitely understand why, and it's to me, I feel like it's definitely worth the price. A lot of people say they wouldn't pay that much for a gun,
yeah,
but me personally, I would, especially if it does
well,
what it says it's supposed to do.
yeah, and see, it's all about the personal preference.
Hmm.
For me, I never let anybody influence my decision when it comes to anything that I do. I base it on something that I like. I try it out. And if
Hmm.
I like it and if I feel the price is worth it, then that price, then I'm willing to pay that. But if I don't like it, I'm not gonna. I don't care if it's a $5,000 gun. If I don't like the way it shoots, just because it's a $5,000 gun, that's not gonna make me buy it just to say I have it.
Just say I have it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, but those staccatos, I actually was able to do a factory tour in I think it was
Nice.
November or December of last year,
Hmm.
and that just cemented my feelings about staccato because it from the block of aluminum that they start out with or steel all the way to the fit and finish, it touches someone's hands,
Hmm.
so it's so you can see where the price come from. It comes
Hmm.
from a place of touching and feeling, and everybody's even though you can call it a mass produced gun, but it's not machine that's putting it together. It's hand fitted, so all those things right there just kind of cemented me in saying, you know what, this is a really good product to have.
Okay. Now, what gun have you seen come up that in the past it was one of those guns that, oh my God, we're not touching that, besides my Taurus, they coming on up. But what
Now
other
Taurus,
gun?
but let me cut you off here. Now Taurus are good guns.
I love my
Ye,
Tauruses.
years ago. ago, Taurus had a bad reputation for unreliable guns, but their newer guns are more reliable,
Hmm.
and they're I mean, anything made today is more reliable than what it was years ago. Um,
Facts.
yeah, it's just that what happens is that, like with Staccato, they don't make 200,000 guns a year like Taurus does.
Hmm.
So their failure rate may be higher because they have more guns. If you kind of
Hmm.
follow what I'm saying. So you
Yes.
can't necessarily just put it on. Well, the Taurus is a trash gun. For some people, they feel it is, but in my opinion, the problems I had with Taurus in the past was the past. But if I had to own the Taurus today, if I wanted one, I mean, I would buy one today.
Got you. Makes sense to me. So let everybody know how they can reach you guys, how they can see more about the events that you got coming up.
Yeah, right now I'm on just the Instagram. I just got into social media a couple years ago, so I'm new to social media. I was one of those guys. I'm never going to do social media. I'm never going to do it. But then once I started the gun club, then I was like, you know what? People said, look, you need to be able to put stuff out so people can see it. So if people want to find me, I'm on Instagram. It's 20 Kaba 21, so 20 KABA 21, and that's how they can find the flyer too, for the event that's taking place, that woman's course.
Okay. Now I got a question for you. I know
Oh
you're
yeah,
not, like you said, you're not a social media person. Will we see any more like YouTube videos of you doing these events and teaching?
I probably will eventually get into YouTube, and also too. Now, what I'm doing now is that I just opened up a small accessory store for firearms. So when I would teach
Oh,
classes, I would always have people ask, "Well, where can I find holsters? Where can I find belts?" I
yep,
just
yep.
opened up a store. I just opened up a small accessory store a few months ago. Called Kaba Sports. So when I do my classes, that was under my business name at Kaba Sports, and I just opened up a small accessory store, to be able to sell accessories. So that's growing now. It's not where I want it to be, but I'm taking the baby steps to make sure we can sustain.
Oh man, that is a great idea because that
Yeah,
is the first question everybody. I know that's the question I had. Okay, I'm ready. I got my gun choice. I need a holster. I need this,
yeah,
but nobody had it. Nobody had any good recommendations. I had to go out there and search on my own, which you're supposed
yep,
to. But it would be nice to to actually see it in front of you, not just online and stuff.
right, yep.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's how things are going now. Soon, I would probably say within maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks, I have a podcast that's going to be coming out. Me and one of my members, we're going to be doing a podcast, just a two-way
really,
podcast. Yeah, so we're going to be
okay,
doing a podcast, and of course, I'm going to have you on, as a guest, and so yeah, so kind of look for that too, and
okay.
yeah, and we may end up transitioning that to YouTube. So I'm just, like I
Hmm.
said, I'm just learning this process of the social media and YouTube and all these kind of things. So I'm just getting my feet wet now.
Oh wow, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You got it all planned out. Well, I
Yep.
really,
So
really appreciate you taking the time out and doing this interview. It's long overdue,
oh yeah,
definitely long overdue. And I really, really appreciate you for doing this.
yeah. Well, I will say it's unfortunate that you can't come to the event.
I
Yeah.
know like my weekends are shot because I
Yeah.
help take care of my grandma.
Oh yeah, I understand. Yep.
So I do the weekends and my rest of my family does during the week.
Completely
So,
understand.
and she gets upset because she feel like I'm downplaying my life to take care of her, but she took
Right.
care of me,
Of course. Of course.
so like, but I'll be there if I can,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
if you have something during the week, I'm there.
yeah,
Monday through Friday, I can
yeah,
be there. My weekends, if I
sure.
plan ahead far enough, maybe,
Oh,
but
yeah, I understand.
they kind of shot right now. So, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you reaching out to me, letting me know stuff going on and things of that nature. So, I definitely appreciate the love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate you having me on here too.
Yes, so everybody make sure you guys go follow him on IG. Definitely a great person. So is his wife. Man, this has been another great video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said before, make sure you share this video and make sure you check out the Kaba events coming up. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's good fellowship, good education,
Yes.
all that good stuff. So YouTube, until the next video, we will see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace. Stay on.
Okay.
Oh, stop it.